INFJs, top signs: you are probably better off without a partner. As an INFJ, you are deeply intuitive, reflective, and thoughtful. You tend to prioritize meaningful connections and can see potential in people where others might not. But despite your natural ability to connect, have you ever wondered if you might actually be better off without a partner right now? That's right, being in a relationship might not always be what's best for your personal growth, peace of mind, or happiness. It's not that you don't crave connection or love, but perhaps there are signs that being single is more in alignment with who you are at this point in your life. In this video, we will explore the top signs that you might be better off without a partner, at least for now. These signs aren't about discouraging love, they're about encouraging you to listen to your true needs and honor your own emotional health. If you're an INFJ who's ever felt the pull of self-discovery, independence, or the desire for personal growth, this video will help you reflect on whether a relationship aligns with your authentic self. 1. You feel overwhelmed by the emotional demands of a relationship. INFJs are natural empaths, meaning we feel things deeply, sometimes more deeply than we'd like. Imagine being in a relationship where you're constantly navigating your partner's emotions, needs, and sometimes even their insecurities. While it's natural for INFJs to care deeply about the people in their lives, relationships can become emotionally draining when the demands start outweighing your own need for peace and self-care. INFJs have a unique emotional depth, and they often absorb the emotions of others around them. This can lead to a sense of emotional exhaustion when in a relationship where both parties' needs are constantly at the forefront. Emotional burnout is a common occurrence for INFJs who feel responsible for their partner's emotional well-being. If you feel emotionally drained by your relationship, it may be a sign that you're not prioritizing your own emotional needs. Start by setting boundaries, ensuring that you have enough time for self-reflection and recharging. Practice communicating your need for emotional space clearly to your partner. If a relationship is consistently draining you, it might be time to take a step back and focus on your own emotional health. 2. You need a lot of alone time to recharge. As an INFJ, your introverted nature means that solitude is not just a preference, it's a necessity. If you've ever been in a relationship where you felt like you couldn't get enough time to yourself, this could be a sign that you're better off single. Even the most loving relationships need a healthy balance between time spent together and time spent apart. INFJs often need time to decompress after social interactions, even those with people they care about. Being constantly around a partner, without the necessary alone time, can cause overwhelm and dissatisfaction. Without solitude, INFJs may begin to feel disconnected from themselves and lose touch with their inner world. Make it a priority to schedule regular time for yourself, even if you're in a relationship. If your partner is not understanding of your need for solitude, it might be a sign that the relationship is not aligned with your personal well-being. Practice explaining to your partner that solitude is essential for you to remain emotionally healthy. If this need isn't respected, it might be worth considering whether the relationship is fulfilling for both parties. 3. You find yourself compromising your values too often. INFJs are driven by their values. If you find that you're often compromising your core beliefs or ideals to maintain peace in a relationship, it might be a sign that you're better off single. Perhaps you're agreeing to things that don't align with your true self just to avoid conflict or to keep your partner happy. While compromise is a part of any relationship, consistently compromising your own values can be emotionally draining and ultimately lead to dissatisfaction. INFJs have a strong sense of purpose and deep convictions. When these are disregarded or dismissed in relationships, it can lead to inner conflict, resentment, and unhappiness. True happiness comes from living authentically, so being in a relationship that forces you to abandon your values can create a sense of internal dissonance. Take some time to reflect on your core values. Are you currently in a relationship that supports these values? If not, it may be time to have a candid conversation with your partner about your needs and boundaries. If those needs continue to be dismissed, consider whether being single would allow you to honor your values more fully and authentically. 4. You feel your personal growth is stagnating. INFJs are constantly evolving and seeking self-improvement. However, if you find yourself in a relationship that demands so much of your time and energy that you're neglecting your personal growth, it might be a sign that being single would actually serve you better. Perhaps you're not pursuing passions, learning new skills, or exploring your potential as deeply as you once did because your relationship takes precedence. When INFJs feel like they are not growing, they can experience a deep sense of dissatisfaction. Relationships that are too consuming can prevent INFJs from cultivating their potential, which is essential for their emotional well-being. True happiness and fulfillment for an INFJ come from both personal and relational growth. Look at areas in your life where you feel stagnated. Are there hobbies, passions, or goals that have taken a backseat? Prioritize activities that nurture your growth and personal development. Sometimes, stepping away from a relationship temporarily or permanently can free up space for you to reconnect with your ambitions and find your next steps. 5. You feel more conflicted than fulfilled. If you find that your relationship often leaves you feeling conflicted, torn, or emotionally stuck, it may be a sign that it's not the right fit for you. INFJs tend to analyze their relationships deeply, but when those relationships only leave you with more questions than answers, it's an indication that something is off. INFJs have a strong intuition that guides them in relationships. When they feel conflicted, it's often because their intuition is telling them that something isn't right, even if they can't fully articulate why. Constant emotional conflict, indecision, and confusion are signs that the relationship may not align with your long-term emotional needs. Listen to your inner voice. If you find yourself feeling stuck in a cycle of conflict or confusion, take some time away from the relationship to gain clarity. Practice mindfulness or journaling to uncover your true feelings. Sometimes, stepping back is the best way to assess whether staying in the relationship is in line with your emotional well-being. 6. You feel your partner doesn't understand you. INFJs often feel misunderstood. Your depth, intuition, and complex inner world can be difficult for others to grasp, and when your partner doesn't seem to understand you, it can lead to feelings of loneliness even in the relationship. If communication feels like a constant struggle and you feel like you're speaking different languages emotionally, it may be a sign that you're better off without a partner. INFJs crave deep, meaningful connections, and they thrive when they can be their authentic selves. When they feel misunderstood or that their partner cannot meet their emotional needs, they can start to feel isolated and alienated. Constantly trying to explain your thoughts and emotions to a partner who doesn't understand can leave you emotionally exhausted and dissatisfied. If you find that you're struggling to be understood, assess whether your partner is truly capable of meeting your emotional needs. Have open, honest conversations about your feelings and needs. However, if the understanding is not mutual, it may be time to reconsider whether the relationship is truly fulfilling. Prioritize relationships that foster mutual empathy and understanding. 7. You feel too much responsibility for your partner's well-being. INFJs often feel a deep responsibility for the well-being of others, and in relationships, this can lead to an unhealthy dynamic where you take on more emotional labor than your partner. If you constantly feel like you're carrying the weight of your partner's emotions or struggles, this can lead to resentment and emotional burnout. While INFJs are compassionate and empathetic, taking on too much emotional responsibility for another person's well-being can lead to resentment. A healthy relationship involves both partners supporting each other equally, not one person bearing the weight of the other's emotional burdens. Establish clear emotional boundaries in your relationship. Recognize that your partner's well-being is their responsibility, just as yours is yours. Work towards a more balanced emotional dynamic where both partners contribute to each other's emotional health. If the responsibility feels imbalanced, it may be worth reevaluating whether the relationship is healthy. 8. You've lost sight of what you want for yourself. INFJs are known for their strong vision of what they want to achieve in life. However, when they're in a relationship, they may begin to lose sight of their own goals and desires. If you find that you've been putting your partner's needs and wants ahead of your own for too long, it's time to pause and reconnect with your own desires. INFJs are often self-sacrificing in relationships, and while their intentions are noble, this can lead to a loss of self-identity. When you're no longer clear on what you want for yourself, it's a sign that you've been too focused on your partner and not enough on your own dreams. Take time to reconnect with your own aspirations and goals. Revisit your passions, career ambitions, and personal growth areas that have been neglected. A healthy relationship should support your personal growth, not hinder it. If you're not able to pursue your own dreams within the relationship, it may be time to reevaluate your priorities. 9. You feel like you're constantly sacrificing your happiness for your partners. As an INFJ, you have an innate desire to nurture and take care of others, often putting the needs of your partner before your own. You might find yourself compromising on your happiness just to keep the peace or avoid confrontation. Maybe you've agreed to things that don't bring you joy, simply because you didn't want to disappoint your partner. Over time, this pattern can chip away at your own sense of fulfillment. INFJs are natural nurturers, and their deep sense of empathy can make it hard to say no or put themselves first. However, when you continually prioritize your partner's happiness over your own, it can create feelings of resentment and self-neglect. This pattern can lead to emotional burnout and make you feel lost in the relationship, like you've forgotten who you are outside of it. Start practicing self-care and learn to prioritize your own happiness. Reflect on what brings you joy and make it a point to pursue these things, whether it's a hobby, spending time with friends, or simply enjoying some quiet moments alone. Communicate with your partner about the importance of maintaining your individuality within the relationship. It's okay to make your happiness a priority, and by doing so, you create a healthier dynamic where both of you can thrive. 10. You are unable to set healthy boundaries. INFJs often struggle with setting clear boundaries, especially in relationships. You may find it difficult to assert your own needs or say no to your partner, even when their requests are unreasonable or draining. If you're constantly compromising your time, energy, or emotional well-being to accommodate your partner, it's a sign that your boundaries are being compromised. INFJs tend to put others' needs first, and this can lead to boundary violations. Setting boundaries isn't just about saying no to others, it's also about saying yes to yourself. Without healthy boundaries, INFJs may feel overwhelmed, used, or like they are living someone else's life. Establishing boundaries is crucial for maintaining a sense of self and emotional health. Begin practicing setting small boundaries in low-stakes situations. It could be as simple as saying no to a request that doesn't align with your priorities. Start communicating your needs clearly and without guilt. Explain to your partner that boundaries are not a sign of rejection, but a way to protect your mental and emotional health. The more you practice setting boundaries, the easier it will be to assert them in your relationships. 11. You feel like you're losing touch with your true self. INFJs often lose themselves in relationships because they're so focused on their partner's needs, wants, and emotions. Over time, you might find that you've forgotten what it is that truly lights you up. You may have stopped pursuing your passions, or you feel disconnected from the person you were before the relationship. This can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction and a sense of emotional depletion. As an INFJ, your identity is closely tied to your values and personal growth. If you feel that you're losing touch with what's important to you, it's a sign that your relationship may be overshadowing your need for personal space and self-expression. Happiness comes when you are in alignment with your true self, and when that alignment is disrupted, it's easy to feel lost or disconnected. Take time to reflect on who you are outside of your relationship. What are your core values, passions, and goals? Reconnect with the things that bring you joy and fulfillment, whether it's a creative pursuit, an academic interest, or simply spending time in nature. Make self-reflection a regular part of your life, whether through journaling, meditation, or quiet moments of introspection. If your partner doesn't support or understand your need to reconnect with your true self, it might be time to reconsider your relationship. 12. You're avoiding confrontation and suppressing your emotions. INFJs tend to avoid conflict, often going out of their way to keep the peace. If you've found yourself suppressing your true feelings to avoid confrontation with your partner, it could be a sign that your needs and emotional well-being are being sidelined. Maybe you're afraid that expressing yourself will lead to an argument, so you bury your emotions instead of addressing them. INFJs are conflict averse, but when they suppress their emotions for too long, it can lead to a buildup of resentment, frustration, and emotional disconnection. Avoiding confrontation may seem like the easy way out, but in reality, it prevents growth and creates a passive, unhealthy dynamic in the relationship. Expressing your feelings openly and respectfully is essential for maintaining a healthy connection with yourself and your partner. Work on developing healthier communication skills. Start by expressing your feelings in a calm and clear manner, even if it's uncomfortable. You might begin with small, non-confrontational topics and gradually work your way up to more difficult discussions. Use I feel statements rather than blaming your partner. For example, say I feel overwhelmed when, instead of you always. Being able to express your emotions without fear of conflict will help you feel more authentic and emotionally free in the relationship. 13. You find yourself seeking external validation. INFJs value deep, meaningful connections, and they often seek validation from their partner to feel loved and accepted. If you're constantly looking for external validation from your partner to feel good about yourself, it's a sign that your sense of self-worth may be tied too heavily to the relationship. While seeking validation is natural to some extent, relying on external sources for your self-worth can lead to emotional instability and dependency. INFJs have the capacity for deep self-reflection, but when they're constantly seeking approval from others, they lose touch with their internal compass. Happiness and fulfillment must come from within, not from the external validation of others. Cultivate self-acceptance and self-love. Start practicing self-affirmation daily by acknowledging your strengths, achievements, and the things you love about yourself. Instead of looking for validation from your partner, focus on reinforcing your own worth. Engage in activities that help you build confidence and independence. The more you affirm your own value, the less you'll need validation from others to feel good about yourself. 14. You feel the relationship is holding you back from your potential. INFJs are often visionary and have big dreams. However, if you find that your relationship is holding you back from pursuing your potential, whether that's in your career, personal goals, or spiritual growth, it could be a sign that you're better off without a partner. Perhaps your partner isn't supportive of your dreams, or maybe the relationship demands so much of your time and energy that you feel you don't have the resources to pursue your true passions. INFJs have a strong desire for personal growth and self-actualization. Being in a relationship that doesn't support or align with your potential can cause feelings of frustration, stagnation, and even resentment. True happiness and fulfillment come when you're able to fully express your potential and live in alignment with your deepest values. Take a step back and evaluate your goals. Are you able to pursue them within your current relationship? If not, consider having a conversation with your partner about the importance of supporting each other's individual growth. It's important to create space for both partners to pursue their dreams, and sometimes that means reassessing whether the relationship is truly supportive of your journey. If the relationship is holding you back, being single may give you the freedom and clarity to reach your full potential. In this video, we've explored the top signs that being single might be better for you right now as an INFJ. This doesn't mean you will always be better off without a partner, but recognizing when relationships are not aligned with your personal growth, emotional well-being, and sense of self is an important step toward creating a more fulfilling life. INFJs are complex and nuanced individuals who crave deep connection but need to honor their inner world. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for yourself and your future partner is to take time to heal, reflect, and grow on your own. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do any of these signs resonate with you? Have you experienced moments where you realized being single might be better for your emotional health? Drop a comment below and let's continue this conversation. If this video helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into living authentically and finding happiness as an INFJ. Stay safe, and see you in the next one.